Hey y'all, welcome back to the Glow Up Podcast. So, if you are new to my channel, my name is Megan, and this channel is all about self love, self care, confidence, and glowing up. So, today we'll talk a little bit about moving forward and just keep pressing forward no matter what comes at you. So, when you are on this journey to glowing up internally, growing within the Lord, growing spiritually, you are going to go through some things, particularly to try to knock you off course. I have gone through so much with, just trying to heal, just trying to get to the other side of things. And, as you kind of go through the process, you kind of notice patterns, you kind of notice things. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. And so, I'll also reference the word too, because a lot of things that are in the word, we can kind of relate to them. And so I'll give you an example. So in the book of Exodus, when Moses was delivering the people from Egypt, and crossing the Red Sea, I believe it's like Exodus 14, they were crossing the Red Sea, and Pharaoh and the army were coming behind them, and the children of Israel were like freaking out, like, why'd you bring us all the way out here to die? And they basically saw this Red Sea and said, how are we going to get across? How are we going to get across this thing? Like, this is totally impossible. What are we going to do? And started freaking out, right? And I started to think, back in my life when I've been going through some things, and I'm like, how in the world am I going to get out of this? How in the world is God going to get me out of this situation? Like, help. And so in their situation, they felt the same way. And Moses was basically telling them to stand still, don't freak out, see the salvation of the Lord. The enemy that you see today, you will never see again. And Moses cried out to the Lord, and the Lord said, why are you crying out to me? Like, move forward, keep moving. And so that was the word that the Lord had gave me when I was feeling like I was in this battle, and I felt like there was no way out. And what he gave me was continue to move forward no matter what. So all of last year, I was so distracted by the battle that I was not progressing forward. I wasn't progressing forward in my business. I really wasn't progressing forward in different things because I was so distracted by the battle. And so that's one of the strategies that the enemy will use to get us off course is distraction. Distraction. And even though we see the storm, even though we see all these things raging around us, our focus needs to be on the Lord. Our focus needs to be on Jesus and know that we're going to get through, but to also continue to move forward. So if God's told you to do something, he's giving you an assignment to do, stay focused on that and continue to move forward. If you're on your healing journey, you're on your glow up journey, and the storms are raging around you and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this thing, keep progressing forward, because as you keep progressing forward, things will eventually become easier, and then you'll be out of that storm. The other thing that I learned is that oftentimes the Lord uses those storms to build us, to build endurance in us, to build strength within us. And looking back over the storm that I endured last year, I can definitely see a change within me. I can definitely see that, I have come to be a little bit stronger when things try to come my way. And I do honestly believe that those storms do prepare you for the things that the Lord has for you. So when you are in those situations, or when those situations do come at you, you kind of know how to properly handle it. And just looking back over situations in my life, like at the beginning of my process, I would freak out and be like, just like how the children of Israel, they're like, I was better back in Egypt. I need to go back to what I was doing before, And I had that same mindset. I'm like, I didn't have to battle this much before I came to Christ, which is obviously a lie of the enemy. But I'm like, I didn't have to go through all this stuff. Like, why do I have to go through all this stuff now? And now that I look back at it, I'm like, wow, like I'm handling things so much differently than I did when I first started. So the storm is used to build you. The storm is used to do things within you that you may not see while you're in it. But it's used to build something in you. And then also too, the one thing that I learned and one thing that my mentor always says is every storm leaves a gift. And when I think about every storm that I battled, it birthed something in me. So with this podcast came about. I was on my glow up journey. I went through all the ups and downs, all the different things, and I journaled my entire process. And the Lord told me to start sharing my journey with other people. I don't know where this is going to lead, but I know that it birthed something good because now I'm able to help other people through my process. I'm able to speak to people who are going through their own journeys and able to kind of help them on how I got through it. So that birthed something that left a gift. When I was dealing with anxiety, stress, and all these different things, people pleasing, all these different things, I noticed that my skin was acting up, and so the Lord was telling me to start looking into skincare products. And then, hey, I birthed a skincare line. So every storm or every situation leaves a gift. Like nothing we've been through is wasted, and that's one thing that I learned. So just to kind of wrap up everything, if you are in a battle, if you are in a storm right now, just continue to keep pressing forward and trusting God that He's going to lead you out of it. But try to stay focused on Him and try to stay focused on what He told you to do. The vision will help sustain you. And that's one thing that He kept telling me. The vision will help sustain you. And I was so drowned into what was happening that I was unable to see a way out, but there's always a way out. So let's continue to just stay focused on Him, stay focused on the assignment that He has given you, and just keep pressing forward. Know that if you are in the storm, it's there to help you, to build endurance within you. You're not going to be the same person that you started when you started this journey. You're going to be a lot more stronger, a lot more resilient. And this is preparing you for what God has for you in your future. So hopefully this episode helped you out today, and I will chat with you next time. Have a good day. Bye.